Kelly. Just gonna get my camera adjusted here. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And we'll get the stream here going. Okay, so that looks pretty good. It looks like you guys have a pretty good view. So I'll just chat for just a few seconds until a couple of people can join us. I did do a live stream earlier today of, if you're watching this on September 3rd, 2021, of the Ellie Studio December Documented Kit. So if you're interested in the Ellie Studio December Documented Kit, pop on and after we're done and check out the live stream of me showing you the kit. And I did a little sneak peek of the album I'm going to be using, and also the main paper collection that I've picked to do my 12 by 12 Christmas scrapbooking. But mostly it has to do with the Ellie Studio product. So it's September 3rd and we're looking at Christmas already. Crazy. Actually, that will probably be the last Christmas I do until right around Thanksgiving weekend. So crazy. So I'm glad to be back with you guys. I've missed you the last couple of weeks. It's been a little crazy in my life. You know, I said after we went back to somewhat normal life after the pandemic that I wasn't going to get as busy as I was prior to it. And yeah, yeah, that it's just as busy. Work is busier. Personal life is busier just because I'm dating somebody now. It's crazy good in lots of ways, but lots busy. In the last 2 weekends, 2 weeks ago, I had all 4 of my grandkids overnight. For the first time, I've had 3 of them, but not the baby of the family, who is now 2 and is a climber. But actually, things went pretty well. I was most worried about him, and he was perfectly fine. It was the older 3 that, you know, siblings and all that stuff. But we went to the zoo the next day, had him overnight, had lots of fun. And then last weekend, I went up to northern Wisconsin with a really good friend, and we spent some time on the lake for a long weekend. So that's why I was gone last weekend. I know I won't be able to do a Friday night live next weekend because I'm going to have M number 2 and M number 4, so my grandkids. Their mommy and daddy are celebrating their 10th wedding anniversary next weekend. So her dad and I are splitting up the 4 kids so that they can go away for 2 overnights. So that you won't see me, and I'll try to remember to talk about that a little bit later on. Just as I was sitting down, it started to rain, so I've had to shut the windows in my scrapbook room, and it's a little warm. So I may try once it settles down a little bit, I may try to open those up. So tonight, hi Harmony, hi Tammy, good to see you both here, and anybody else who's watching and just hasn't commented yet. So tonight, we're going to do a 12 by 12 layout, but I'm first going to show you a project that I worked on last weekend. I didn't really do scrapbooking per se where I was creating layouts, but I dealt with some photos. So my stepkids family, and that's all of them right there. So my stepson and daughter-in-law, and then the 4 kids who you see all the time, took a trip out east to Virginia over Memorial Day weekend, and they had a boatload of photos. And she sent me most of them, like she would just, you know, put them in an album and send them to me, or she even texted some of them to me as well. So I know that these are photos she wanted scrapbooked, but I don't know how many. There's like, I don't know, 80 or 90 photos. I think it's more than that, actually. I think it was 80 or 90 photos of one of the things they did. That's what it was. So a couple hundred photos here. Let's just say that. I think he actually did count them. It's over 200 photos here. Now, I'm obviously not going to be able to scrapbook all of those, nor do I want to, because this trip could be an album itself, and I don't think that they want that. I think they want the memories there and some photo scrapbooks. So let me show you. And what happened is I was trying to figure out how to deal with this, and all of a sudden it dawned on me that I had these 4x6, they call them 6-up, so you see 6 photos, these 6-up photo sheets, and so 12 by 12. I use them for one of my nephew's weddings because they took photos of them with all of their guests, and I put those in the back of the book after we were done scrapbooking. And so I realized, you know, I still have a bunch of those, and on occasion I will put a sheet of 4x6 photos along with a layout. And I thought, why can't I do this with all of these? So my vision here, and I'll show you the different parts of the trip as we go along. My vision is that I'm going to start in this particular one with a 12x12 page here. So next to this, with some photos from this part of the trip, and then 4x6 photos. And then we'll get to the next, what happens when we get to the next part of the trip. So that's cool. Harmony says she uses pocket pages and companion layouts are how she handles lots of pics from an adventure. So what I did is I went through, and with each of the groups of photos from the things that they did, I picked out a photo or a couple of photos that I really wanted to feature. In this case, and then what I did is I tucked them into the first photo spot so I'd be able to pull them out pretty easily. I do need to go through, by the way, with all these yet and cut off the white borders and all that. I haven't done that. But in this particular case, it's these 3 photos. So this is the name of the farm that they were at. It's a picture of the 3 oldest kids together, and then their family their family together. So I'm thinking something like this, but we'll see. There's a lot of space on the side of this. I don't particularly love that, but maybe I can use some embellishment and put it there because it just feels weird for it to sit on this side. Although I could overlap those photos, and I think that's okay. We'll play with that a little bit when I get to the layout. So then, just going forward, what I did is I started out with a picture of my stepson and his wife because they never get featured in anything. The kids do. And I just went through, put the pages in order. I mean, oh my gosh, these photos of my granddaughter here. Look at that. I mean, just so sweet and so darling with all the lavender. I can tell Mama was taking her picture, but there's photos of each of the other kids as well too. I'm going to pull this over a little bit so you guys can see. Okay, so we have all that. You know, this is all the lavender farm. This is all the lavender farm. And if there was an extra photo that I couldn't deal with, and I ended up, I think with this one I may have ended up with like 1 photo or something. I picked one of the photos that was not a great photo or like a repeat of everything else, of something else that I'd seen, and I just let it go. Just figured, you know what, I'm just going to let that one go and we'll make this even. It's a lot of photos. So then this is the next part of their trip, the next day. And with this one, they went to the Virginia Living History Museum, which is amazing. But there's lots of parts of this. So what I did again here is I have the kids, let me show you these, in here and here. So I have the kids here outside the Virginia Living History Museum, and then they spent a lot of time in the dinosaur exhibits at this. So I'm going to scrapbook these 2 photos. Oops, and I forgot this one too. There's 3 of them. This one says love. So I'm going to scrapbook these 3 photos of the things, kind of major things that they did, and leave this blank. So the reason I'm going to leave this blank for now is that with this one, the 12x12 is here, okay? So I can put a layout from either the beginning of their trip on the back of this or from something else, or I can put a layout of just something individual from later in their trip or other parts of their trip on the back of this. Like there's a picture of the 2 boys snuggling in bed together one day, you know, something like that. Because if I put the 12x12 layout here, I'll have a blank side. So I want to put the 12x12s. Ideally, they would intro each section, but that's not going to happen. What's going to happen is, let me get through this. Like I said, there's huge amounts of pictures for this one. Okay. Let me see if yes, okay. So this is where it breaks from the Virginia Living History Museum to the Virginia Aquarium. At this point, I'll put a 12x12 page in it. So this side, if you're looking at it like here's the 12 by 12. These pictures will be on this side, and then this picture will be on this side. And I have a blank space here right now because I'm going to probably end up putting some sort of title or something like that because I just didn't have enough. I didn't have enough photos. I thought this would be a good place to sort of introduce something fun. Yeah, the rays are really cool. The kids were actually, well, you can see they're petting them here, which is really kind of amazing. And I don't know that I would do that. I would be afraid. So the other thing I want to talk about, so this open space here now becomes the intro to this section. So I will put an intro to say that this is the Virginia Living Museum and maybe the date that they were there, maybe a little bit of embellishment, but I won't do that until I finish the 12 by 12 page because I'm going to want to coordinate all the things for that day, probably use scraps and stuff like that to that page. So I'm just going to pop these back in here so I don't lose it. Then let me show you what happens because I don't always have the exact number of photos. As I go through here, I didn't have enough to fill a 12 by 12 page, but it was too many photos to just say, oh, this is a bad photo, I'm not going to use it. So what I did, as I come through here, there's another blank space here. So I'll fill this in with some little 4 by 6 collage-y, scrapbooky mini page here. But again, bringing in things from the 12 by 12 page that I'm going to do for this section. Here's another one of those. And I kind of tried to divide it up so they were inside all the exhibits, then they went outside, and I wasn't with them, so I don't know. I might look up this museum just to see if I can get a little bit more information about it to talk about the different sections. I might do that. So then there's that. This is another section. This starts the outdoor dinosaur section. And then just outdoor section in general until we do that. Then we hit this Virginia Aquarium page, and you know what, now that I see this, I did not leave a blank space for myself. I left 2 blank spaces up here. So I'm either gonna have to pull another photo that I have, or I'm going to have to, oh wait, actually I don't need to do that. This is right, sorry. This isn't right. The Virginia Aquarium is separate from this. So this needs to be the one that's going to go on the 12 by 12 page that backs this. So I'm going to have to play around a little bit yet. Maybe add in another blank space because there's space here. So I'll be able to do that. Maybe I'll put another blank one on this side. So anyway, sorry about that, guys. I did do a little mix up here. So that's what happens. That's why, as organized as I was about this whole thing, it gets a little crazy. This will be easy to shuffle, or like I said, I can go back through and look at my pictures and see if there's anything that I missed that I think I should put in here, which I don't think so. So I think I have all the photos. Okay, so 12 by 12 in the middle here. We're going to start using these. This will be some sort of little title-y thing. I love this photo of them. It's so cute. So they're just, they're trying to have funny. Like my granddaughter here is just adorable. She is adorable anyway. Her mom just sent me a picture of her dressed as Moana for a little princess thing they're doing tomorrow. So very cute. All right. So this is the aquarium again. And one of the things I want to do is each of the kids had favorite animals or fish, turtles. Like my 2-year-old grandson loved the turtles. Somebody loved dolphins. Somebody loved sharks. So we'll talk about that. Then we have another section here where they were at Virginia Beach. So this photo here is going to come out, and we'll do a picture of the kids here and then leave a blank space there to do some sort of fun, some fun photo or something like that. I could also do this one. I decided because of the boys, there's 2 of the boys here, but I could also do like this one of the kids where all the kids are kind of there and do that. So I haven't played around yet with exactly how that's going to look, and I may flip these around a little bit so that the blank space isn't always up here, that sometimes maybe it's here if I have a 12 by 12, because it'll be a 12 by 12 or actually I'm mixing that up now. Nope, I'm sorry. I'm getting really mixed up. That's right. So the 12 by 12s will come in here. This is why I'm going to have to do these kind of chronologically to make sure it fits. 12 by 12s come here. I'll have a blank space over here because I think I'm going to use that photo. And then we'll go from there. I love this photo, my stepson and my grandson. And then this here is a park that they went to. So I think I'm either going to take this one or this one and leave a blank space somewhere in here. There's lots of blank spaces with this one, but that's fine. I can, you know, jazz it up a little mini scrapbook thing. So that's sort of what I have planned for now to figure, you know, figuring this all out. I could do this perhaps without a 12 by 12 and just do that here, you know, like do a little intro thing here because this is a smaller section, but I'll see how I feel about it once I get to it. I think part of that is unknown until I start playing with what's going on. I so wanted to take like this picture or one of the pictures of her picking lavender to go on the 12 by 12 page, but you know, she has brothers, so I couldn't quite do that. So then what I'm doing is now I'm thinking about what am I going to do for the 12 by 12. And I want to do purple and green because they have these beautiful mint dresses. And then my little guy here is in a minty top. He's got a little turquoise top on. So she tried to color coordinate them a little bit. She did that for every day to make life easier. So what I decided to do is I'm going to grab this basil Swiss dot paper, I believe is what it's called. Does it tell me? I'm positive this is Swiss dot. It doesn't say Swiss dot, it just says cardstock and julep, but I know that's what this cardstock is called. So it has a little dot pattern on it. And then I do like this purple with it. And then I'm thinking maybe somehow I bring in more green again. So I have that paper. I have this one, which is a stripe. And I have this one. I could use either the large check or just the outdoor thing. Now, the one thing is this is a little bit more springy green. So I'm kind of looking to see what does that look like against that. And I actually think this wood is the best alternative. I do have some purple here as well if I want to add some more purple back in. So I think we'll see how this works. This scrap might work. This is a Creative Memories piece of paper. It might work, it might not. We'll just have to see how that goes. So I'm going to just get rid of all those other pieces. Now I also did pull in my Paige Evans Pinks Paisley Bloom Street flowers because there's a lot of purple in here. And I brought in some pebbles, some old pebbles chipboard. I thought that might work a little bit within here to get some different shades of green. So I think that would help this pull in if I did that. And then I guess Maggie Holmes chipboard is what her Maggie Holmes, the Paige Evans chipboard is what I'm thinking. And then I always have puffy stickers and that kind of stuff. So let's get going. And Harmony, I just saw your note about petting the rays, which I don't know, that just freaks me out totally. Totally. Okay, so there's the basil paper. And you know, the question is, do I want to do just, you know, a smaller border and put the pictures in the middle and kind of sit them on each other, or I'm not sure how I want to do that. So let me chop off the white borders here because that'll help too. I'm getting that figured out, less distraction. And then this one, because these are all taken with a cell phone, so they're not true 4x6 photos. Okay, so let's see what we could do here. Now, I definitely could start playing a little bit. Maybe that what this needs to be is just do a bigger sort of matte here. I'm kind of liking that idea. I could use that. I could do this, which I think that's beautiful. I could do this. That's a little spring greeny, but not too bad. But I think this is, I think I'm on the right track looking at doing that, like that. And in case any of you are wondering, the name of the lavender farm they were at was Sweet Haven. And they said the kids loved it, which is really interesting, but they said it was just so cool. And when I saw the pictures and that kind of stuff, I just thought it was so neat. You know, that just the exploring. They did a lot of exploring and learning on this trip, even though the kids wouldn't know that. So, oh, Harmony says rays are her favorite of the sea creatures. I think dolphins are mine. They hang out with us a lot when I go to Florida. Not that I ever thought about my favorite sea creature until just now, in all honesty, but I think that is. So I do like this I Love You a Lot piece as well. Just kind of figuring out how I want to arrange these, because that will definitely have some influence on the pieces that are going in here. I could just butt those up and do that, and then bring that in like that, which is what I think I'm going to do here. And then I like that purple in the tag. And then now that I think about it, I do also kind of like the fact that there's a little bit of that silver on here. I think it's just a nice foil to, no pun intended, to the colors going on in here. And I also have purple. So maybe in my LA Studio letters. So let me grab that. I have two different kinds. Today I reorganized these by rainbow order. So can I even get the word lavender? I can't get the word lavender out of this. I could MacGyver A's out of U's. But I don't have an R here. Just looking to see. I know lavender here, but I can't get Sweet Haven out of this either. So maybe that won't work with a purple, but I also have purple letter stickers too, so I could look at that. I've been thinking about trying to use my letter stickers more. I'm going to trim this so that I can decide how far I want to trim that on the side. My poor letter stickers just sort of sit abandoned, and I think it's time for me to start thinking about getting them out more. I have them in the same kind of basket that I store my other letter stickers, but they're under, I don't know why. Actually, they're not underneath anything that would be that big of a deal for me to get them out, but I don't. So I'm thinking that what I'm going to do is put the same border on this side as I have everywhere else, and then this can overlap into the green to bring all the colors together here. So I think that's what we're going to do here. And it's really raining now. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but wow. And then maybe I'll justify it a little bit to this side. And see, this is now visually taking up. Harmony says she can hear the rain. It's a good thing I shut my windows all around. So I have to be careful because this is almost the same width as that, and I don't want the two lines to be the same. So we'll kind of play with that a little bit. I think I want that to overlap slightly. And I do, when I do something like this, I like to have common borders somewhere So maybe like these two sides, and I can build out clusters from this side, and then the title can maybe go across here. And then, just to give myself a visual, hey Glenda. No, I'm glad the rain is calming. That's good. So this is how much that would take up there. And I want to move this up a little bit. And take up a little bit more of that weight. So back in school, when I was doing art projects and having to truly mat things, one of the rules of thumb is that your bottom border was actually thicker than your top, and it just helped your eye realize that the weight was resting on something of what was inside the mat. It's just a trick of an eye. So that's something that I like to sort of keep in mind here. The other thing I can do is just pull it up like this so that all three borders are approximately the same, and then do the title across that way. So otherwise it needs to move in and down a little bit here. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to bring it up so the three borders on this side are the same, and then we'll build out cluster here. I'm going to need a cluster somewhere else, probably over here, something over here, maybe something up there. I don't know, we'll figure that out. Okay, I think that's pretty good without actually leaning over and figuring it out. I do like bringing these chipboard pieces in a little bit because like M1 has some reddy hot pinky in his shirt that's pretty prevalent there. So doing that helps me kind of include his in there. And there's that piece there, which I kind of like. So now I have a strong diagonal going here. And I could, this is a lot of flowers over there though. I probably need, I don't know, floral cluster from something. What is this? This is kind of like a little postage stamp piece. This is probably the better piece for over there. The one thing I'm not loving though is now these flowers are really different. So is there a way that I can pull in some of these Bloom Street flowers to make this all make sense? So that it kind of feels, and I've got this little corner jutting out. If that happens and I don't like it, I just cut it off. There's this cute little heart. That could be like the date or something. I don't think, yeah, I don't have any more chipboard, I don't think, with that those flowers on it. This is a little bit smaller, but I like the fact that that one is turquoise. No, there's that little cluster. Again, I don't want to put that there like that. I think this will, the chipboard here is going to have to be good enough. And then maybe don't think so. I'm just looking to see, I'm just going through my Bloom Street stuff here to see what I have that's in purple that I can bring in. This is a little bit smaller, but I think that would be better up here. Although now you really can't tell that that's a heart. I do like the pansy though. I like it's a little bit smaller. There's another pansy. Maybe that would work up here. it doesn't scream I'm really different as much. So I kind of like the way that works. Yeah, these are the same one. That may just have to be what it is. If I had another pansy, I'd probably use that instead. But I don't think I have one. And I don't want to introduce another color. Yeah, I don't. I just looked through all my flowers. So I think that will work. The other thing I could do, see if maybe 2 of these would help this up in this corner here. Okay, I like this, so let's glue this down. And that's that do what you know and then deal with it after that. That's probably not quite what the saying is, but you know, do what you know you like and then go from there. Oh, this has to go this way. Okay, that's good. I just want to get an approximate place. This is Pebbles chipboard, and there was no, there's no glue on the back of it. Oh, thanks Harmony. Yeah, I have a 5-day weekend, and so when that happens, a lot of times I will do my nails because I can't do that normally. I can't wear nail polish at work, so I try to take advantage, and I happen to have this patriotic one, and I thought, okay, that's what we're doing. I meant to do them on the 4th of July, but I really didn't have a long weekend that weekend. That I didn't have a lot of time off. So, and then I'm imagining that what I'll do is I'll take like a little marker and maybe put a date or I don't know, something there. I do need to get a little bit of foam tape on the bottom of this little floral stamp here because it's going to be sitting on top of this chipboard piece here. Okay, I like how that little cluster has turned out. Now this was a little tear apart piece and there were other colors, and so I've got an end there that I wanted to disguise. And I think I'm gonna make this butt up right against the edge of that photo there. And I think by the time I'm done, I'm not going to know necessarily that I have the heart there, which I guess is fine. Okay. Kind of playing, I want this in here, but I don't really want it to cover up the lavender there, I don't think. There we go. I think this is a cute picture of all the kids too there before they were out in the lavender fields. I can't believe they got them to sit like that. Let's see. I just said I don't want this to cover up the lavender, but what am I doing? Just slightly. Okay, so I have all that done. This one was a cute one. It said the best things to hold on to in life is each other. Now, if I don't think I have a blank space in that purple stuff, but that might be a fun one to see if I can get along into those photos somewhere. So I'll take a look at that before we're done to see if there's anything that I want to add into the photos to bring this first page into all the 4x6s. I think this is a little crooked here. There we go. All right, so the question is, are we doing 1 or 2 here? So I don't mind that. maybe if I do it more over here and tuck it a little bit. Bring that down, a little bit, tuck that. Harmony just said that her heart went a little bit when I started ripping the purple paper off the background. I know my adhesive well enough to know that that was just fine. It's a know your adhesive. Now have I wrecked papers and had to start and do something else? Oh yeah. But in general, the ATG is pretty forgiving for a while, but it also depends on what your papers are. So it doesn't adhere to this Swiss stock cardstock all that well. That's the real secret, is that I knew that that would happen. So I knew I had time. I always have to kind of reinforce the backgrounds when it's on this kind of bumpy texture a little bit more. Okay, I think that'll be good. But I do like to live a little dangerously. Trying to think of any, I don't know if any of you noticed, but we did not do a stash bash on September 1st, but we have one coming up for you tomorrow afternoon. It should be up by late afternoon for sure. It should be up as far as plans are. I have, when I'm done working with you guys tonight, I have the voiceover to do for my layout. I did that today, and Rachel and I just got, like, September 1st just got away from us, and so we decided, since you know, it's the holiday weekend in the United States, that we would just do it a little bit later and get it up then. Okay, that was the real scary one there. Okay, so we have that done. The one thing I didn't do is I didn't grab any enamel dots. So I think I'd like to do that, but I'll grab my twine. Oh, I have to spell Sweet Haven yet. Or Lavender Farm. I'm going to do Lavender Farm, I think. Because the Sweet Haven is there. So that'll work. That'll get us some. And I don't think I have any like silver dots, or I would do those for sure. Look at me all brave, not using my tweezers. But it is bugging me a little bit. I love these. These are from Chamel's Field Trip line, and these this Puffy Alpha, and oh my gosh, I could use 1,000 of these. I wonder if there's just alphabet stickers from Field Trip. They're a great size. They're good for titles and subtitles. Okay, lavenders. I think it's A, right? Correct me, somebody, quick, if it's not right. That looks right. Because I can't look anything up because I have both of my devices going. It does take these a little bit to stick to. That is not right. I always can correct. Isn't he? Thank you. Thanks, Harmony. One of those things you go, what? How is that spelt? Thanks, Tammy. I actually am really a good speller, but something about scrapbooking ruins it. I think it's having to do it in the moment. I figured if it didn't work, I could just change this afterwards. I would have checked that. I try not to misspell words in scrapbooks if I can help it. Does happen though, right? Okay, so there'll be plenty of room for yeah, you're right. Harmony says she struggles when things end in ER, AR, and OR, which isn't that the truth? Okay, and I just realized I'm going to have to go back to where I have these photos stored because I didn't remember the day that they were here, which is fine. Not that big of a deal. So I need some twine and then probably some enamel dots. Have to see what I have for purple. I could do mint green as well too, but I'm just thinking purple. I think this is the only purple I have. And do I have? I do have silver. I think we're going to use this silver one. I just like the idea of this. This is old from Target, I think at Christmas one year. Obviously, you guys, if I was talking about LA Studio, I did buy some Christmas, so my stash freeze didn't apply. Well, not that it didn't apply, but I chose to break it. And then since I was on a roll, I really like theme school stuff. I scrap way more theme than I thought I did. And so I did buy a new Photo Play or Echo Park. I don't remember. One of those two manufacturers, a new school collection. I think it's Photo Play. I'm pretty sure it is. Just because I didn't have that much school stuff, and M number 3 is going to a 3K program this year. She wanted to go to school and have friends, she said. So she is just a couple days a week. It also gives my stepson a little break. So then he only has to chase one child down and try to get all the household stuff done. So I don't know if we've talked about this, but my stepson is actually a stay-at-home dad. Okay, I'm going to hit the camera. Sorry, guys. Usually I try to take these out before. All right, so I have Freckled Fawn or Queen and Company. These are pretty bright. I think I like these Freckled Fawn ones. So let's see what I can do with those. So I could put 2 in each cluster. Let's see if I think we need more. So that'll land on the photo. Do I want to do that? If I can avoid it. No, I don't mind doing that where I get a corner of it, but I prefer not to. Oh yeah, this one needs to come on here somewhere. So I think I'll just pop this one up here, kind of opposite. And these are just, I got these, I think, in a Freckled Fawn sale, and they like to come off the sheet. So maybe down here with that one, and up there with that one. And of course some add-ons. Yes, always, always, always the add-ons. And I did buy 2 sheets of book paper, and because I couldn't get the one, oh yeah. And then I bought some things for the Chamel's September kit as well. I did about half to 3/4 my stuff, and then whatever the balance was in some things she's suggested for us. Okay, so I really like the way this looks. I could maybe put, let me see what I think about this. This other purple is just, it's so light it's almost gray. And I do have 2 small purple dots in a lighter color, but I don't think I have anything that's gonna work. Let's see. What about here? I could use one of these lighter, just Queen and Company enamels here. Let's see if we like, well, let's see if I like that. Just adding one of those in somewhere. Yeah, thanks Harmony. I was very, very excited. I'm really not liking this light dot in here. I think it just takes away. It's another color, and I want the enamel dots to be a little bit of something without you really noticing them. And sometimes I think if I switch colors, which is why you often see me just do one color of enamel dots. I think if I do that, then sometimes it just takes away from the page. It distracts your eye, I guess, from what I want you really looking at, which is the photos and some of the main stuff. So there we go. So there's the Lavender Farm. Now let's go back because that's going to be sitting here, which look at how pretty that is when we're looking at that. I think that's really cool the way that looks. And see if there's anywhere that I think I might like to add. And I don't get all upset by the way that I've got things going horizontally and vertically within the same spread of these 6-up pages. Not worth my time to worry about. The important thing is getting the memory in there. Just wanted to see if there's like one where it feels like the angle on something is awkward. Like I could put a little something up here maybe. But, and I don't have any purple flowers left. Oh, this would be kind of cute. I've got this little you and me. So I could do that with maybe a purple enamel dot on it. That's one thing I could do. Yeah, they had beautiful weather when well, except when they were coming home from that park, or they were walking across the parking lot at that park, and they got rained on. Okay. That you and me over here would be kind of cute too, because it's a little further away. If I do it on this picture of M number 2 and 3, but it is cute. I like to, when I have a circle like that, I like to just kind of leave it, drop it off the edge there. Let's see, can I find another? So I'm thinking that you and me, and then maybe a floral piece somewhere here. These are so pretty with that, just that long row of flowers there. And I could put some flowers on M number 4 over here. That's kind of cute. With a little bit of pink there. Let's do that. Because that gets the back page involved in all of this. The one thing, I don't remember which kind of photo sleeves these are, but they also open from the back, which I love. And that pink fights that red a little bit, but I'm not going to worry about that so much here. And then maybe here, I'll bring some of the more lavender dots in just because I don't have any of the shiny ones. See, these look so gray on there. Let's bring in, oh, I could do these little ones. Yeah, let's do this. There are 5 of these. And then I have that, the you and me circle as well. Okay, so there we go. We have a little decoration in here. And then what I'll do, if you guys have ever seen my December daily, I'll cut the white pieces off. I can even do this here for you to show you what I do. Since this spread, these spreads and these are staying the way they are. Of course it doesn't, oh actually, now that I think about it, it's a little harder to do this because you're supposed to put them in. Normally what I would do is cut the white pieces off here and then glue them together, but just looking at this, I actually can't do that because there's a piece of plastic in between the two sides here, if that makes any sense at all. But I am going to want to make sure that these are pretty close in size. they're not quite. So then what I would do is I would glue these together normally and just snip off the one that was longer. Oops. And this needs to go this way. And if they're not, like if one's longer in the pocket, like if one pocket is longer, I'm not too crazy about that kind of thing. That doesn't bother me so much. Okay, so there's a little decoration on that. And then we'll go back to this spread. And I'll clip these down. So this, guys, it gives you an idea of what I do. And then you deal with all those pictures so much faster. Because I was having nightmares thinking about how am I going to get these all scrapped, especially since I'm not going to use the word behind, but I have not scrapbooked this year anywhere near what I did last year. And I wonder why that is. Well, actually, there's two reasons. I know that cases are rising all over the place, but certainly not to the extent that they were. Things were this time last year were still pretty unknown, and I wasn't vaccinated. And I have that boyfriend of mine now who distracts me from scrapbooking like I used to. Okay, so then this one needs to come back in here. And then this one we'll do here. And I think I said this, I like to catch this here, this edge here, so that it looks like it's hanging off. Well, welcome, Nancy. I'm glad you could join us tonight. That's awesome. Okay, so we have that. Looks like it's just hanging there a little bit. Oh, but the one thing I didn't look was to make sure this looked like it was straight. Let's try that again. I'm going to have to clip that top, but that's fine. It's awesome that you could join us tonight. Okay, and then I want to go back and get the light lavender ones. Is that what I used? Oh, no, on this one I used dark. Oh, they were over here. All right. Obviously, I have too many supplies out, right? So I could do this so they're across, or I'm going to just put mine next to each other here. I like to do that sometimes when I just have a couple dots. Okay, so now I only have the purple, gray colored dots left. Oh, I have two little light ones too, but on that sheet from Freckled Fawn. Okay, and then this can go back in here. So move stuff around here. Now, not only, now we have the intro page, which I love the photographs. They make, they make sense. The photographs that I used kind of tell the story. I love, with this particular project, I'm really liking trying to get a photograph of all of them, or at least the kids, to kind of tell the story of the family trip. And then going into the individual spreads. The other thing I really am enjoying about this now that I'm seeing this as it's starting to come together is I'm really liking just this little bit of embellishment in the pages as we go here. And I don't know that I'm going to do it with anything else, because I think all the rest of this is just beautiful as it is. I mean, I could maybe do one here, but I just think these photos are so beautiful. I don't want to distract from them. I guess if I had more of those purple flowers, I might choose to do that. But since I don't, I'm just going to leave them as they are. So these spreads will just be as they are. And then we go to this little spread here. And M number 4 has a little flower cluster on his picture, just to take up some dead space. And that's how they're going to all look together. So that's what you do when you have a big event and you don't want to take the time, or you don't want to take the space, whatever it is. Or like with these, this whole event is like the important thing. It's not like I can tell necessarily a lot of individual stories. And if I tried to do that, you know, I have 6 photos of her picking stuff. So it would be hard for me to determine how to do pages from this, individual pages. I could, but it would be hard. And I don't think it's important to do that way. So I really like the way this is going to sit in their book now. And I think hopefully they will too. Pretty sure they will. I took a photo of me with the stacks of photos laid out and kind of spread out as I was trying to figure this out, and then just put it up on Facebook, and my daughter-in-law liked it and said she could hardly wait to see the results. So I know she was excited about that. So anyway, guys, so I think that's it for tonight. If you were here early, I did say I am not going to be here again next Friday night. Sorry, you guys. I've got M number 2 and M number 4 because it's Mama and Daddy's 10th anniversary next weekend. And Grandpa, my daughter-in-law's dad, and I are dividing and conquering so that they can go away for a weekend and not just an overnight. So we want to, you know, really try to support not just taking care of the kids for fun, but also for things to strengthen their marriage, or to keep it strong, to keep it strong. So that's where I will be next Friday night. So you say a prayer for me, because I've got them 2 nights overnight. So they are really good kids, I promise. But oh my goodness, that's a lot. There's a reason why you have your kids when you're younger, right? Yeah, my daughter-in-law, my stepson, and the kids love it. And then even like her dad and my stepson's mom loves to see the layouts as well too. They'll go through the books sometimes. So I think that's really cool. And since I love it so much, it's nice to be able to share this and get their memories scrapbooked. So one of my things tonight, if I finish the voiceovers, I may work on printing. I have like boatloads of photos to print, so I may work on some of that tonight too. So that would be kind of fun to get some new photos, because the photos I have now are from like very early summer, or even still some spring ones, and I'm really wanting to scrapbook some summer stuff, so I'm going to need to do that. So, all right, you guys, thanks for joining me tonight, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. Who knows, I might be able to sneak some scrapbooking in at the end of next weekend, but we'll see. I don't want to promise it if I can't do it. But Tammy just said that she enjoys having her 2 grandkids over, but they wear her out as well, too. Yes, I will confess, by the way, that oftentimes when I put them to bed, Grandma Kelly has a glass of wine when they're all securely in bed and snoring away. So anyway, but you guys take care. I hope you have, if you're in the United States, I hope you get to have a fun rest of your Labor Day weekend. And for anybody else, just hope you guys have a fun weekend. Take care, everybody, and I will see you hopefully soon. Bye, everybody.